Ibasco is Miss Earth 2017, a WWF-Philippines ambassador, speaker, host, and image consultant. Her willingness to give back, eagerness to do good, and ability to persevere are just some of the many factors that make her the leader that she is today.
Welcome to another episode of In Love with Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is Leaders of Today. And you all know that the world is filled with leaders and game changers of all ages and backgrounds. This season, we aim to highlight people who make a positive impact in the world around them through their actions and words. For today's guest, I'm so excited to have this beautiful woman. As you heard, she is a host, speaker, image consultant, WWF-Philippines ambassador, and Miss Earth 2017. She aims to lead others to become their best selves by serving as an example in her respective fields, and that is what makes her the leader that she is today. So let's welcome the queen herself, Miss Karen Ibasco. Hello, my Miss Earth.
Hello, Miss Map, and to everyone who's watching this afternoon. Good afternoon to you all.
Yes, and I'm so excited to have you here. Of course, I have gotten to know you even more this year, but you have definitely been an inspiration to all the Filipinos. And I just wanted to make sure that we always thank you for that. So for the ones that are, of course, wondering who this beautiful soul is, this is the reason why we have Miss Karen Ibasco here today. So please, Karen, share with everyone a little bit about your background and your journey. And of course, on being the queen that you are today.
Well, honestly, my background is a bit unconventional to a lot of people. You know, I lived a very private life. I'm half Chinese and half Filipino. So Chinese are very known to be conservative and very private. So I grew up in a conservative family. I finished applied physics, took my master's in applied physics as well.
Wow.
And I was just focused more on my career at that time. And when I was already working, I had this desire to join a platform where I can share my voice and want to make a difference in the world. And I really wanted more of not just winning a crown, but I wanted to bring my field to limelight as well. I want people to know what I do because I know I have a story to tell people. So that's how it all started for me. And then what I did was I joined pageants, a very short time lang. I didn't join pageants ever since I was young. So I was, I felt like I was an underdog in a competition, but I was trained, I really prepared for it because it's something that I wanted. One thing that I can share to people is you need to have a desire, you need to know your purpose, and you need to be excellent in everything that you do. So that's what I did, ever since I was in college. That's something that I believed in. And ever since that, and as I continued with my path, I pursued that with much excellence with Miss Earth as I represented the country and brought back the crown. And this is already me continuing my advocacy.
That's right, guys. We have an official Miss Earth in our presence right now. And it's such a treat. I had you into the Queens and getting to know you there with my fellow other beauty queen, Karen, Austria, Augustine, and hosting obviously comes naturally to you also. And you said it there, the key is preparation. And so how did you get into hosting and eventually becoming an image consultant now, right?
Well, actually, when I finished my reign as Miss Earth, definitely, you know what? Oh, no, let's rewind back a little bit. When I was teaching in the university, I used to be a lecturer in USC. So I taught physics and math. I realized that I really love talking. I love
Mm.
talking to an audience. And then I started practicing on my students without them knowing that I was practicing on them. But I was, doing my lectures with specific topics and specific, lectures for the day. But I learned that I wanted to pursue hosting as I was going through the path of Miss Earth, and not just hosting, but also my speaking engagements. And since I am known as a brand for sustainability, I pursued that path even after my reign as Miss Earth. Because I don't want to throw the networks, I don't want to throw the
Mm.
opportunities that came to me, because I am known to be a scientist that combined my field in physics with environmental sciences. So,
Mm.
I have people would always say you have the best of both worlds. And then I just want to continually be known as a person of substance, but at the same time to still reach out to people. So that's what I
Right.
do. And ever since then, I love talking, I love sharing my stories, I love listening to other people's
Yes.
stories, and I
Mm-hmm.
love to grow as well and to become better with their stories.
Exactly. And it's something I also share with others. Your image is definitely your message. And
Mm-hmm.
Karen, you really are that. You speak and talk the walk, right? So going back again, being a beauty queen, of course, that's possibly or maybe one of the biggest highlights. Apart from getting your masters, that my daughter is listening. She just said, "Wow, yes, Nikki." Tita Karen, so you're a tita to her. You look up to women like Karen Ibasco because she definitely is a true epitome of what a natural beauty queen
Aw,
is, right?
thank
Inside and
you.
out. So, going back to being a beauty queen, what did you enjoy about being a beauty queen?
Ah, I love the platform that was given to me, because when I was growing up, I am not the person who really craved for attention or,
Yeah.
let's say, fame. I was never that
Mm-hmm.
person. I was
Mm-hmm.
very private. So I never thought that I would be in the limelight. When I joined,
Yes.
I never thought I was going to win an international title, not in my wildest dreams. And then one of the things that I loved was the platform that was given to me and the perks of
Mm-hmm.
being Miss Earth, to travel the Philippines and to travel the world for free. And I get paid for that.
Yes. Definitely is super fun.
Yeah.
So, could you share the people or things that influenced you on the pageant train? Was there anyone that you were like, wow, she is amazing or he is amazing? I want to be like that. Having that platform and again,
Hmm.
having the confidence, though you have the confidence naturally. But was there any particular other queens or kings or
Hmm.
inspiration that you looked up to?
Uh-huh. Well, honestly, growing up, it was Miriam Kimbao that I saw, and she was
Mm,
also from USD, and then Charlene Gonzalez. One of the people that really changed the way I see pageantry was the year of Shamsi Suksuk. When
yes.
I heard her story, when I saw, I could still remember, I was in McDonald's with my dad. We were eating breakfast. When I opened the newspaper, she was in the front page, and I saw that, wow, this
Mm,
woman who graduated magna cum laude in
yes.
UP in architecture, and she was in top 10 for her board exam, has a story to tell. And she advocated about education at that time. And then I saw her journey to Miss Universe, and
Mhm.
even though she didn't win, she's one of the people I look up to because I
Right.
loved her answer until the end. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
just give her answer because she wanted to win. She gave her answer
Yes.
because that was her conviction, and she just wanted
Right.
to share that to the world. And that's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that really helped me to, or gave me the drive to join, because I wanted to have a message and a story to tell people.
Exactly. And of course, even the beauty queen world it becomes a sisterhood, right? I also
Yeah.
am inspired by Champsy, of course, now the GM, right, of Miss
Uh-huh.
Universe
Yeah.
Philippines. So imagine that. The advocacy continues. And I
Hmm.
think that's what makes it more of a highlight. If we
Yeah.
can um, stay relevant in a way where the platform that we received, we can
Yeah.
still give back afterwards.
That's
So,
true.
speaking of that, you are obviously in partnership or collaborating and giving back to the WWF Philippines. Can you tell us a little
Hmm.
bit about that?
Oh, it's so funny because when I was still a candidate for Miss Philippines Earth, I was in their project, one of their projects as an audience. We call it Earth Hour. So it happens every single year, every March
Yeah.
or April. And it's a time where we turn off our lights for 1 hour because we want to teach people the importance of conservation of energy. And when I went there, I was like, I saw Mark Nelson, and then I saw Isang
Yeah.
Casado, and I looked out to those people because they were ambassadors
Mhm.
for WWF.
Yes.
And I said, one day I want to be just like them if I would be given the opportunity. And then I won as an international queen, and then I got connected to WWF. So it's my way of giving back and continuing my advocacy with an NGO that I trust and I know that really helps the planet. And they really help me more because they give us lectures and they give us projects for us to understand what are the things that we can do more for the planet as we share it to
Mhm.
people. So I continue that even until
Yes.
now.
And of course, guys, if you want to know more about it, I'm sure Karen is more than happy to share with you advice or where to find these information that we need right now, especially for the environment, right? And
Hmm.
speaking of that, I know during our journey or your journey, even we face challenges, whether
Hmm.
it be the pageant world, your hosting, your
Hmm.
education.
Hmm.
How did you embark or how did you overcome these sort of challenges? Maybe you can speak on one or a few, uh, but of course you have many more years of experience that you will be, experiencing. But for the past, what were the
Hmm.
things that you went through that you said, okay, I can still move forward?
Yeah. I guess one of the things I've learned, ever since I was young, I
Hmm.
knew my worth, I knew my values. So I grew
Yeah.
up in a family that helped me build my foundation as a person. So it really had a huge impact on me before I went out in the public's eye. So
Hmm.
when you're out in the public's eye, your life is going to be an open book. Everyone's going to read your story, and not everybody will like you. Some
Hmm.
people will like you, some people will not like you. Well, it's normal.
Yes.
But one thing
Right.
I've learned is that even though other people would try to put you down,
Hmm.
it's still your choice if you're going to allow their words to affect you. But if you know your worth as a person and your value, no matter what other people say, you won't be
Hmm.
affected because your worth and your value is not dependent on the acceptance of other people. That's not true.
Yes.
So that one thing that I really talk about when I give personality development is I start with confidence. So how do
Yes.
you define confidence? I always define it as understanding your worth as a person before you even go out there, before you listen to other people's comments about you.
Yes.
And this is very relevant nowadays, especially, even now it's just virtually. And a lot of people's mental health are so affected when they're not accepted on social media and so on. They try to get acceptance, they try to get other things from other people that they want to hear, but that is not where your worth will come from. So, understanding your value and your worth as a person is very important to understand as young as you are before you go out in the world. And that's one thing I really continually have found myself in.
Hmm. And you answered my next question. But as you can see, guys, Karen is wise already. And I hope that you guys are learning a lot from what she's sharing today. I sure am, because it's very timely. We need to
Yeah.
hear these stories so that we understand what we're also going through, how we can overcome things. And speaking of that, I want to backtrack when you shared that you were a very private person before, coming
Yeah.
from a very old-fashioned type of culture and
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. So for the young at heart and the youth right now who want to pursue perhaps similar to what you have or even just their career to level up, what would be your
Mm-hmm.
advice to come out of their shell and not be so hard on themselves because they do not want to break the tradition, perhaps?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. I guess one thing I can say is where there are many things that I want to say is one thing is you have to trust the process as well. It doesn't happen overnight. For me, it did not happen overnight. I was a person who couldn't speak in public. I couldn't speak in straight English. So this is not the person who I was before. Definitely this is not who I was. But in the process, as I experience more things in life, I just
Mhm.
let them, mold me in a good way. So you have to choose the right things to help you be molded as well. So there are going to be
Yes.
good and bad experiences, but that's okay. Bad experiences, I always say, are still blessings in disguise. You still have to
Mhm.
learn how to make that help you to become better. And one thing I can say is that you really have to risk things. You cannot stay in your comfort zone because the magic never happens in your comfort zone. One thing I
Yes.
can remember was that I never thought that I would be a beauty queen because, as I said earlier, I came from a conservative Chinese family. So my
Mhm.
dad, I was never gonna make a choice that my parents are not agreeing with. So I understand that the blessing or the path of your blessing is where your parents are going to help you make that decision. So at that time, my parents were not open, but then they saw how pageants have evolved. And my dad was
Yes.
even one of the people that encouraged me to join because he saw I had a potential. It's so funny, when
Yes.
God opens the door, he's really going to change
Mhm.
people's heart and he's really going to show
Right.
you this is the path where I want you to be. And that's exactly
Mhm.
what happened to me. So I did not disobey my parents. I trusted their decision. I wanted to join some pageant before, but my dad said no. So I respected his decision. But
Right.
when I was already, I had a career. So I had a great background or a credibility to say what I can say when I was in a big pageant. And that's exactly what happened to me. And one thing I can say, risk it. You gotta try it because the worst thing that you can experience in life is not even
Mm.
trying, not knowing what could have happened. It's better for you
Yes.
to fail than you not knowing what could have happened. So try it, risk it.
Mhm.
It's fine. Failure
Mhm.
is a part of life as long as
Right.
you know how to stand up and you understand if this is the path for you, you continue. If this is not the path for you, then you know when to stop and when to end and find the right path for you.
Yes. And never regret, I guess,
Yes, never.
to add to that,
Hmm.
because we're always going to wonder, what if?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and to add to that too, I know my mom's watching and my dad. I have to thank them for allowing me to take such a risk also on pursuing a
Yeah.
dream, because it's not easy. As long as, I think the amazing thing that you shared too is that once you have your parents' blessing,
Yeah.
they trust you. They know what your goals are. That's the best
Hmm.
feeling.
Yeah.
So the world is definitely yours. Or as for Karen here, the earth is yours. It's your playground as long as you take care of it and you take care of yourself at the same time. So
Hmm.
with everything you shared, as our topic is leadership, what would be the true meaning of leadership to you?
Wow. The true meaning of leadership is understanding to walk your talk, even though no one is looking at you. That's very
Hmm.
important in my field in understanding of integrity. Integrity
Right.
is doing what's right even though when no one's looking. In our
Yes.
industry, it's so easy to put a facade. So you would
Hmm.
look great and you would have a great reputation. But I always remember a great quotation from a legendary basketball coach, John Wooden. He would always choose character more than reputation. Even though you lose a competition, that's fine. But as long as you know a character was instilled in you, that's always going to be better. It doesn't really mean that if people would be on your side, that's the best path. No, because
Right.
sometimes you can lie to people, but you can never
Hmm.
lie to yourself and to God. So I'd always choose character more than reputation. And that's really what leadership is all about: walking your talk even though no one's looking at you.
Yes, and we love that word.
Yeah.
My family and I, my husband, you mentioned a basketball coach, he
Yeah.
is all about integrity.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
it's what you would do when nobody's looking, guys. Karen's shared that. It's just the exact words. So make sure that whoever you are, it doesn't matter who's in front of you, is still the same. Be true to yourself, right? Because at the end of it, if you feel uncomfortable because you know that you weren't being you, then that's
Hmm.
what's off. Right. And I
Yeah.
love that. You do have a question here, though, from someone on Kumu. Hello, guys.
Oh.
Miss Karen, are you in touch with some of your fellow candidates still in Miss Earth and also Earth Philippines?
Yes, yes. Until now, my Miss Philippines are we're still good friends. We still talk, and even in my international competition, we still talk. And I hope one day we can still get together because one's from Russia, the other one's from Colombia, the other one's
Yes.
from Australia. So
Mm,
hopefully we would still see each other. And yes, we do talk. I love my fellow queens. They're like family to me. I don't treat
right.
them as someone, just elemental queens. I treat them as equal to me because that's really what
Mm-hmm.
we are. So I really
Right.
respect their journey. I respect their culture, and I would love
Mm-hmm.
to see them again.
Yes, I know we all miss the face-to-face interaction. But speaking of that, let's say, everything's going to be okay, that we can finally travel and see everyone. How would you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh wow, 5 years from now.
Calculate, calculate.
Yeah. I think 5 years from now, honestly, I believe that I would be married by that time. I
Yes.
would start my family, but at the same time, I understand that I just really know that I would be a working mom. I want
Yeah.
my growth. I don't want it to be stagnant. And I would have a better stand of the new path or the new career that I took. So 5 years from
Mhm.
now, it's looking bright and great for me the way I see it. That's really how we should see it. But yeah, honestly, 5 years from now, I believe and I really think that I'm gonna be married by that time.
Well, hint, hint to the special someone. You're going to be a lucky man to be married to Karen Ibasco and also have her as the mother of your children. Is it children? Yes.
Yeah.
You need to have mini Karens around so that the earth can be amazing even more. So, I really thank you. I love getting together, and of course today I got to know you even more, and everybody else did
Hmm.
also. So thank you everyone for being here and supporting this beautiful woman right here. Before we wrap up though, I want to do a fun activity with you. I was inspired by the book Strengths Finder, but I tweaked it a
Okay.
little. So it's
Hmm.
finding your strengths. So for everyone who's tuning in, this is a treat for you. We're going to go on a personal note or a fun note with Karen today. And all you need to do is just, it's like the fast talk, or the first thing that comes out,
Okay.
that you think of, then you can just share it with us. All right. So
Okay.
game ka na ba?
Okay.
And anyway, okay, so the first question is, Karen, what's one thing about you that surprises people?
Ooh. And that I'm a physicist. Honestly, people are just wow whenever they hear they don't really meet a lot of physicists in this world. So whenever I say I'm a physicist, people just started not wanting to talk to me anymore.
So can you expand a little on that for the ones that don't know what that is?
Well, physics, yeah, sure. Physics is not just dealing with acceleration or velocity, it deals with
Mhm.
explaining to you how the world began and all about the things that you see in the world, such as energy. So it's one thing that you need, and it's something that you experience every single day.
O di ba, Professor Karen just gave us a mini lecture, guys. All right, okay, next. What is your hidden talent?
Oh, my hidden talent. Well, I can sing. I can sing the acoustic version, but please don't make me sing.
Everybody knows that whenever they say they can sing, it's like, it came from you. But yes, guys, we'll wait for that. I'm sure Karen will have her concert soon on Kumu, especially today is the third anniversary. So
Yeah.
if you go live, we'll be waiting. All right.
Okay.
So next, what is your go-to outfit?
Oh, now I don't wear much heels. I wear Dr. Martin boots and sneakers. I'm not gonna lie. I wear a lot of jeans nowadays and t-shirts. So I try to change my look now from being a beauty queen to
Mm.
a normal person.
All right. So next, if you would be a cartoon character, what would you be?
Ah, I would be a mouse. I would be a Minnie Mouse. I love Minnie Mouse ever since I was growing up. I loved how she dresses. I love her character. So ever since I grew up, I watched Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. So I think I'm gonna be a Minnie Mouse if I'm gonna be a cartoon character.
Cute. All right. So if you could trade lives with any beauty queen for a day, who would it be and why?
Wow, that's really hard. Well,
Oh, diba?
honestly, yeah. Now, if there's one beauty queen, I would love to trade lives with Miriam Kimball. I've heard her story; it's amazing, and I would love to see how it is to have a miracle baby at the age of 45, and that's
Yes.
her second
Yes.
baby. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing how she shares her testimony to the world, and how
Right.
when she won as a first runner up, how her life turned from uphill to downhill, and now she's up again, and she's sharing her story to
Yes.
people. I would love to switch lives with her for a day or something.
Super. Super love Miriam too. Her strength with her faith is so inspiring.
Yeah.
Okay, and lastly, if you are not a beauty queen, what would you be?
If I was not a beauty queen, I continued my path as a medical physicist. So I work in radiation oncology to help cancer patients. So what I did was I calculated radiation doses for cancer patients. So I've seen the other spectrum of life. I've seen how one day people are alive and the next day they're gone. I've seen the importance of not taking life for granted. So I've really
Right.
seen that at a young age until senior citizen. That's really one of my drives when I was working. And if I did not become a beauty queen, I continued my field and baka assistant manager na ako, or a manager na ako ngayon.
Well, you are definitely an inspiration, Karen. Thank you so much. I see why you have such a natural glow because you do live
Mhm.
life as a precious blessing. And I hope everyone out there is motivated and inspired with what Karen shared with us today because true beauty really lies within. And Karen, you show that so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you are a friend of mine, a sister, and for everyone out there, maybe share how they can find you, or maybe you have upcoming workshops or
Mhm.
ongoing workshops that you can share with everyone that can be part of.
Okay. Well, you can find me on my Facebook page. It's at Karen S. Ibasco. You can find me on Instagram. It's Karen Ibasco. I'm planning to continue my YouTube channel. So it's one thing that I love doing. I love talking. So I do have a podcast as well. It's called Wednesdays with Karen. I'm going to continue that. I promise. I'm just focusing on something now. And I do have this, it's like an app or a website. If you really want to know more about image development, it's called Pocket Mentor Philippines. So you can tune in on that. Or you can invite me for talks. I do talks about sustainability. I do talks about sciences. I give talks about image development and more. And you can hit me up at my email address at karensibasco@gmail.com.
Amazing. And I'm so excited. Super I'm going to be supporting you no matter what. Of course, thank you again for being part of Tita Queens. You've definitely shed some inspiration to all our guests and all the viewers on Kumu. Again, I just
Mhm.
want to give a special shout out to Kumu because it is their third anniversary today. So everyone who is part of the Kumu world, Kumu Nation, Kumu family, this is because of you. And what we're campaigning today is no Kumu without you. So just know that you are part of this amazing platform, and especially
Mhm.
Karen too. So watch out for Karen's lives there. And
Yeah.
just like that, guys, it has been such an amazing show today. One of my faves, actually, Karen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have truly sparked a fire in me again, and I am going to look forward to your podcast. And just let me know if you need a guest there too. And I'm sure
Yeah.
Karen and I would love to have a conversation with you on your own platform. But for everyone who's tuned in, thank you again for being part of In Love with Me. And just like what Karen shared today, please, please be kind to yourself and also the earth because this is definitely a blessing for us and a gift. So enjoy that. And you know what to do, guys. Actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in this episode of In Love with Me. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching In Love with Me series.